Nailed it. What's up, party people? As you can see, abnormal setup here. Mikey got sick, so Mikey not here. No. This is the Six Podcast, episode number 77. We're your hosts, the two kings.
Woo!
Art, the Hammerosian. Just giving myself nicknames now. Maybe we used that one before. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't put much thought into it.
I do like it.
And we got Mike Steak Carnia here.
What's going on?
So, a lot of news this week, so no real topic. We're pushing off my gift to you till the next episode because it's a game Mike wanted to talk about. Hopefully he'll be on the mend by then and back here.
Yeah.
If not, we'll drag him in here.
Yeah. We're recording from his bedside.
Yeah. I thought about asking him last night. Let's just bring the stuff to your place and do it there.
We're doing that next time without even asking. We're just doing it if you can't come.
Hey, Mike, this is your room. This is our room now.
Thanks, Mike.
So, a lot of news the past 2 weeks. Yeah. Plenty to talk about. In my head, I think this is going to be shorter, but it may not be shorter. So,
but it's going to be exciting still.
Yeah, let's just hit the normal flow of things. Steak, what you been playing?
All right. Devil May Cry 5.
Oh.
Finished.
Oh, nice.
Finished. Just over 11 hours took me.
It's not bad.
It was excellent. It was so good. It was so much fun.
I've come to realize over the past 2 weeks, I need to find more, mid-range time games. There's, all I have, that I've been looking at is, 40-hour games and 2-hour indie games.
Right.
And it's I sit down to play something and I'm like, I don't want to blow through something in 2 hours. I don't have it in me to get into another super long one right now.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. And that's what for me, that 8 to 12 hours is that sweet spot. That's perfect. It's you can do that. You can beat a game within a week or two at that time, even playing a couple hours a night or whatever. So,
right.
So yeah, it's kind of nice. So yeah, so I definitely recommend Devil May Cry 5 if you're looking for something like that. It was super fun. It was challenging. I mean, I had a little bit of issues. The very last boss took me quite a while to beat. I played it on Devil Hunter, so that was the normal difficulty.
Okay.
So it took me a while. This could be probably not in a favorable opinion, but playing as Dante sucked.
Really?
That was my worst grades because at the end, it's one of those. Have you played Devil May Cry before?
I played maybe the first one
Okay.
or two, maybe. I know I at least played the first one.
Okay, so I can't remember if one had this. I think they did, but at the end of each mission, you got a grade. S through, or I don't think it might even double S or triple S through E.
Who's the publisher on this?
Capcom.
Okay.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yep. So
I'll say it's either Capcom or Konami, one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's not Konami. So.
No, God, no. Konami doesn't do anything anymore. Actually, is it in your news for later?
There's a lot of stuff in the news here.
We'll have to look at that. But
it's not in my news.
Oh, okay. We could still talk about it a little bit. But yeah, it's just all my lowest grades were as Dante. That was I just could not. I don't know why. I couldn't get the swing of him compared. I was Nero, loved playing as Nero, and then V, the new character. At first, I was a little skeptical about that, but actually, I had a really good time with him, and he's actually kind of really easy to use. So I was able to get my triple S score with him, which was awesome.
Is Dante? He's the last one you unlock, right?
Yeah.
So was it? Maybe something just harder levels playing with him.
Maybe that. that could have been part of it. And every time you get to that next character to play as, you have none of the skills unlocked, so you have to unlock some of their skills. And
like you said, you had your rhythm down with the other ones, where you I'm sure you had chain moves that you know how to. Okay, I'm do this. Okay, so, and they throw you in new character, no skills later in the game with more difficulty.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was probably definitely part of it. And I felt Dante was a little slower also than Nero and stuff. So
well, that's good. There's some legitimate differentiator between the
all
characters.
All three of them felt different, which was nice. That's so good. It kind of, it helps you from getting boring.
Well, yeah, and that way you're not just unlocking different skins, essentially. Right. There is different abilities and different, characteristics.
Exactly. But no, it's so crazy too. The story is just so nuts. Some of the cutscenes are just oh my God, is this really happening right now? This is so ridiculous, but I love it. And it runs off the new RE engine.
Okay.
So it looks awesome. So if you liked what Resident Evil 2 looked like, this looks like the character models and everything look just pretty much like that. The way it's designed, it looks awesome. Let's see. I'll skip that one because I know you played it too, so we can lead into yours then. With that,
we'll chat about that.
I did pick up Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
How much you played it
I
so
played
far?
about 2.5 hours.
How are you feeling about it?
It's tough,
That's what I've heard.
but fair.
Okay.
Like, I never felt like when I died, it was my fault. It was kind of one of those things. And I never felt like it was cheap. I was just like, I was just like off with the timing every once in a while with my blocking and my deflecting.
I read that, like, there was someone out there wrote that like this, and like, you're going to die a lot, but when you do, like, you know what you did wrong.
Yep. And then like there was this one guy, it took me 5 or 6 tries, but finally got to the point where I was like, oh, if I do this, I can like sneak behind him and then jump down and take out one of his life bars like instantly with a stealth hit. So that, and then I only have to worry about like basically one turn instead of 2 turns then against this guy. So that was like, it's like I said, it's tough, but like I love the setting. I love that whole shinobi samurai kind of like feel. So I'm gonna keep trying my best with it. Like, and I've never got to the point where, even though I have died quite a bit already, but I've never got to the point where I got like super pissed when I died. Like, it was just more like, oh, come on, like think, like pay attention, get that deflection down, and then you can do it. The hardest thing is like when they do like multiple like attacks in a row.
Right.
Like I can usually get that first one, but then I can't. It's so hard to get some of those follow ups. And then I did get into the Mortal Kombat 11 stress test.
Yeah.
So I did get to play that for a little last weekend for a little while. They had 3 characters to choose from. So they had Scorpion, Baraka, and Scarlet.
Okay.
So I tried all 3. I tried, of course, playing with all 3 of them. That game's gonna be awesome. That game's gonna be so much fun. It's so good. My only issue with it is that people are already learning the moves you can spam. So like when I was playing against Scarlet, there's this one move that just spans. You can span left and right, and the guy I was facing was doing it, and it's just like, all right, dude, I get the point, but this means nothing. Like, this is a beta. Like, let's try some other shit out. Like,
right.
Like here I am.
Congratulations, you won the stress test.
Right? Who cares? Like, and it's like I want to try out the different moves and try to pull off different combos. So right. I was getting my ass kicked, but that's because I was constantly switching characters. And the guy, I played him 3 times in a row, and he picked Scarlet each time. So it's like, okay, like come on, man, like we're here to try this other stuff out. Yeah. So then eventually I found an opponent that did switch it up, which was good, because then I actually got some on video. I was streaming it so I could put it on YouTube for us.
Sure.
And he was able, he beat my ass, but at least he pulled off fatalities. So you guys were able to see fatalities. So go to our YouTube page. It's up there. You can check it out. It pulled off some of like the secondary fatalities that they didn't initially show off, which was really cool.
I would say, was that guy at least like playing the game and not just cheesing one move against you?
With Scarlet, he was spamming, but with the other characters, not so much. Okay. Like, or with one round, he would kind of spam a move, but then I could tell the second round he was trying some other things, because usually that's when I won the second round. And then then it forced a third round, and then he'd go back to spamming the other move that he won with.
At least he was doing fatalities out of it.
Well, that's the thing. At least I got to see shit. So that I was like, all right, that's fine.
I mean, like the one thing, the experience sucks, you get access to this game a little bit early, try it out, the stress test things, and you see that, but hopefully the developers see that too, and they'll figure out a way to make that so it's not a thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, exactly. So that would be good.
Yeah, I'd say if there's a silver lining to, getting cheesed the whole fight, maybe you won't have to deal with it when the game actually comes out.
Right, exactly. But the beta test is this weekend for people who have pre-ordered. So if you pre-ordered or have not yet, go pre-order it. You'll get a code for the beta this weekend.
How'd you end up in the stress test? Was it just...
I just signed up.
Oh, there was a sign up?
There was just a sign up, and it said a select number of people were going to get selected. That's all it was. So, and then I saw the email come in, and I was like, you have been chosen. I was like, fuck yeah. So, but the beta is going to have those 3 characters, and they're adding Jade and Cabal as well. So 5 characters. That's pretty good for a beta. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Usually it is just like the 3 characters like we got for the stress test. Usually that's pretty much all it is. Like, hey, just get a feel for the game.
Or
what
even,
it looks
even
like, what
just
you can expect.
2 characters sometimes. Yeah. Here, just run the thing on the servers so we can see what happens.
And because a lot of people were complaining about the stress test, like 3 characters, what the hell is? It's like, dude, you're lucky you're even getting a chance to play.
It's pre-beta,
right? The game's coming out in like less than a month. Relax, it'll be fine. And then the last thing I was playing that you've played as well,
yes,
Division 2.
Yes,
I played a lot of Division 2.
Did you?
I have been playing a lot.
I haven't been playing that much.
Okay, I was saying the last couple times I've been on, you haven't been on.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on it?
So I'm having a blast, first of all. Like, playing with people. Like, every time I've played it with our buddy Vegas, and usually one of his buddies. So playing it with them, I've been having a good time playing it with them and getting through these and stuff. they were way level ahead. I'm now level 24,
Oh, okay.
so I'm almost there. But I think playing with them, even though it made it harder for me, it
levels you up quicker,
a lot faster, though, which is nice.
So I want to say before I played with them, I was playing with my buddy Andy, and we were both, had just put the game in. I think maybe one of us was level 2, the other one was level 3, and we were, getting gear and leveling up, but it was not. And then later we played with Vegas and the other guy, Split, and we were leveling up like, you do a mission, level up. You do a mission, level up. You do a mission, level up.
Yep.
So it's definitely that's actually one of the issues I have with the game is the scaling when you're playing with someone. So my general thoughts on my experience in the game so far is you can play it single player. It's not in your best interest to play it single player. Yeah. It's very clearly developed for group play.
Yeah.
Because even like the AI, you can tell their strategies are based around attacking multiple people. And if there's just one of you there, you're going to get flanked or you're going to get bull rushed, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So that's kind of frustrating because there have been times where I've gone on to play the game, and I went through a period here recently where I was like, nothing's really scratching the itch, so I'll pop in Division, do a mission or two, and get some gear and turn it off. And I'll get like 75% of the way through a mission, and then I hit that wave of enemies where you get a couple heavies, and then you get rushed or you get flanked, and there's you could try changing your strategy, and they're going to adapt to it. So I like the AI is it's good and it's not good in that game. It's good in the multiplayer scenario. In the single player, I think it's a bit too much. I've heard some people who have gotten like further into the game that the AI just is the same over and over as you keep playing. I haven't played that much to see that. Draw a conclusion on that yet. One of the bigger issues, the scaling. If you're playing with someone who's a higher level than you, that's one of the bigger issues I have because. So the way it works is, I think if you're lower than whoever the highest ranked person is, you get scaled up to 2 levels below them.
Right.
Your weapons scale up too, so you still do damage.
Yep.
However, you're level 28, fighting level 30s, which those people are. So your weapons are spitballs against a giant.
Yeah, pretty much.
The issue I have is more with the damage you take. So one of the first instances I saw this was a heavy comes out with a grenade launcher. If you're a level 28 and they're level 30, they hit with that grenade launcher, you're down. There
was a mission I was down constantly because of the grenade launcher. The minute one hit me in the face, that's it. I mean, done. Yeah.
And I ran into a mission with a grenade launcher that was the same level as me yesterday when I tried playing. And it doesn't down you. It took about maybe 4 grenades to down me.
Okay.
The only problem was because I was the only target, he basically just juggled me between grenades.
Right, yeah.
One hits you, it knocks you out of cover, you stumble around. Another one hits you before you can get back into cover.
Right.
And so it's a game that's very clearly designed for multiple people to be playing. Yeah. I will say the world they've designed is gorgeous.
Oh my god, it's so awesome. Have you done did you do the planetarium mission?
I don't think so. The one I was doing yesterday was I think it was the American History Museum.
That is awesome.
Where you go through like the Vietnam exhibit, and it's raining, and there's the trees, and they have the sound effects of gunfire and choppers.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so cool. And they got the giant chopper like in there and stuff. Like that kind of like going through the museums is awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool way that they came up with to incorporate different environments into this game. Mm-hmm. If they don't do that, you're just fighting in urban Washington D.C. the whole time. But instead, you go in this museum and you're fighting in a jungle in Vietnam.
Right. Yep.
And so I have very mixed feelings on the game. And part of that being that the people I play with primarily are level 30 and I'm level 15, and when you sit there and you keep getting downed by a grenade or a sniper takes you out in one shot every time, it's kind of annoying to keep playing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, now that I'm like level 24, it's happening a little less for me now. I'm finally getting there. I've gotten some decent art. I got like mostly purple gear now with a couple of golds actually now too. So like I'm getting there. Because one night we actually went into the dark zone, and I got like these like gold knee pads and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm getting there. I'm leveling up now. Yeah. So like now I've hit the point where it's like, okay, I'm still going down, but a lot of times when I go down, it's because I'm not patient and I'm running out there kind of like Rambo a little bit. Eventually, I hit a point where I'm just like, fuck this, I'm going.
I'm tired of
I'm not hitting this guy anyways.
I'm tired of popping my head out for 3 shots and ducking back down.
Exactly. But no, and it was to your point. Like I will never play this by myself. Like I can tell you that right now. Like the only times I will play is when I know Vegas is playing every night, so it's really like I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in the mood to play tonight. Cool. I know Vegas is going to be on, so I'll jump in and then I'll jump in his game and everything. And actually, he'll jump in my game since he's already finished everything.
Right.
And then go through the missions with me and stuff. But the nice thing about that is because it's level scaled, is even though they're doing some of the early missions with me,
right,
they're still getting like purple and gold drops because of their level.
Right.
So and they're still getting something out of it. So it's like. It's encouraging. It's like, hey, no, I don't mind going back and doing these missions that I've already completed because it's all about the loot now for them anyways.
Right. And that's, like, I was thinking about this, because I knew what I wanted to say about the game. I was like, I have issues with the level scaling, but I can't think of a better way to do it.
I think they right. And that's the thing. I think they do a really good, and also the gear level up has been a little bit better. I think they patched that a little bit better because I think before it was not scaling correctly.
Oh, okay.
And I think they patched it, and now it's scaling at least better.
Okay.
So because I was starting to go down a lot less, like still when I was lower level, I was going down a lot less. It was taking a little bit more to get to that point. Not like that one night that you were in the group with me that one time. We were just down left and right constantly, and like I just
how'd you go down? I don't know.
Someone shot me from somewhere.
I was in cover and then I was down.
Right. But no, I think it's a lot of fun. And like with a lot of what the reviewer said, because like I remember the original, like I haven't played Destiny 2, I've not played Anthem, but I was in the original Destiny, and like this is like a huge improvement in terms of like a loot shooter from that. Yeah, and then I hear it's still the best one out of all of them right now.
And I do appreciate that they actually have like a full game worth of content here.
The content is
as opposed
insane.
To you play Destiny and you finish the story. Destiny 2, you finish a story in maybe 10 hours, and then what? And then you run around the world and hope for public events to pop up.
And then repeat raids or whatever. And that's it. Yeah, there's so much to do. There's like 100 hours of content in this game easily, at least.
That's the other part that has me like questioning, like, I'm at least going to push forward with the game for a little bit longer. But one of the things that has me questioning, like, should I push forward is I know that getting to that level 30 took those guys like 30 or 40 hours.
Yeah.
And they just, they are giant nerds. So they scheduled the week off work and played it all day and all night. And
honestly though, like I said, right now I'm at level 24, and I would say put myself somewhere between probably like 13 to 15 hours. I'd say I've been playing because like when I play with them, it's 3 to 4 hours a night when I play with them.
Right, and the difference in that perspective is they weren't playing with someone level 30 and getting that quick rank up.
Right, so they actually did the hard work. Right. So I'm leveling up a lot faster than by playing with them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a confusing place with that game because it's a good game. It's just like the optimal scenario for that game is like having a group you play with and you all play at the same time and you're all the same level and you all progress at the same pace. And that's not what I have. I know for a fact if I play that game, Vegas is the one I'm going to play with and he's already level 30, I'm not going to be like, hey man, just create another character to be lower level so I feel better about myself. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, same here. Like with me, the way I bounce around with games. So like right now, I'm like, okay, I'm in here, I'm in with this, but like Sekiro, like I've only put like 2.5 hours into that game. It's like, all right, that's a game I got to sit down and actually put some time into to get better at it. So it's like that day's coming when I'm gonna probably like less with Division and play more of this. And like it's like I know I can always jump in with them, and it's like I just can't focus on. I've never been like that. I can't stick with one game forever, like for like a long time.
And I mean, even once you let's say you play it through and you hit the end of the story and get to the end game stuff. I mean, there's only so much you can repeat stuff and still have it be interesting.
Right. And I agree. Like it's the fact that we're going through the missions with my stuff. It's like, okay, this is still new to me. But then after I'm done with that, unlike them, I don't think I can go back and redo that with other people necessarily. Like, I mean, I could. If I was on anyways, like playing with people already, but I wouldn't be like, you're gonna be on tomorrow, and like, you're level 10. Okay, let me jump in there with you and go do all these with you and stuff. Like, I don't know if I would or not.
Because like I was thinking about like playing Borderlands, and that was the game scaled whatever the host level was. So if it was your first time playing it, and I had a maxed out character, I'm jumping into your game at level 60, and if I look at things, they die.
right.
And that's where I'm thinking. I'm like, I mean, it's not perfect. But I was thinking, I'm like, well, why don't they just level you all the way up to the level that person is? I'm like, well, it kind of takes away the point of playing through the game yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not perfect and it's not my favorite, but I can't think of a better way to do it off the top of my head. So
Sure.
I guess I'll just shrug my shoulders.
Yeah. Check with us in the next couple episodes to see where
Yeah.
we're both at with that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's see. Outside of that, I haven't played a whole lot. I've kind of been, like I said, going through a period of sitting on my couch, not wanting to jump in anything super long.
Sure.
It's like I turn on my PlayStation the one day, I'm flipping through all my games, I'm like, no. And I'm looking at my games I have on Steam and my list of, New Year's resolution games, and I'm
Right.
like, I got BioShock downloaded and installed, but that seems like it's going to take some time.
Oh, God. It's so good, though.
I
When you start that, you will not be able to put it down. I'm just warning you.
Well,
I have that feeling.
in 6 weeks here when I finish my class, all the
there
time
you
in the
go.
world.
Yeah.
But what I did do one night was I popped on the PlayStation VR and I fired up the demo discs I downloaded.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I love that they have those.
Yeah. I played Thumper for a bit, which I actually own that game, but I played the demo because I was in the demo disc. The demo disc, I think it's like the first world of the game, but
Okay.
it's a good intro to it because it starts you off very slowly with
Yeah.
like what the mechanics are, like the level, like whatever level or chapter 1-1 is like just timing a button press in the certain zone. I think like chapter 2 is like timing 2 button presses.
Right. Yep.
Then it starts introducing the turns and all that stuff. So I got up to a point where I just played it until I died.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, that's Thumper. I can see how it all starts tying together and how the music becomes involved in it and everything. And someday I'll play that 'cause I paid $5 for it.
Yeah, that's such a deal. That game's so fun.
And
It's
then,
a lot of fun. It gets crazy.
Let's see, I also did the demo for, what the hell is it? The Heist or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, from the PSVR worlds.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the heist. Yeah.
That, all it is a shooting range for the demo.
Oh,
But
okay.
even that seemed interesting.
Okay.
Just the aspect of like,
Remind me, I have the PSVR worlds, so give you that one.
I still have your Batman. I could have
Oh,
played
that's
that.
fine.
But it's like just the fact that you have to pick up a magazine and put it in the gun
Yeah.
to keep shooting. I'm
Yeah.
like, huh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The problem was, like at one point I was sitting there and you're, holding the gun in the one hand. I pick up the magazine in the one hand. I go to, slap them together to put it in the gun, and then I'm holding a magazine and a gun in the one hand, and it's not in the gun. I'm like, fuck. So I try letting go, and I drop the gun and the magazine. And I'm like,
Oh.
this is a disaster. But yeah, that definitely seems interesting. The other thing, the other one I played was Headmaster.
Yeah.
Seems interesting.
Yeah.
Seems fun. I went to the PlayStation Store to look at it. I'm not paying $20 for that.
No. That game I've been waiting for $5.
I'm
all over that for $5.
That was my thought.
Yes.
I'm like, if that was a $5 game,
Yes.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. That game's it's
At
cool.
at $20, not
Yeah.
a chance in hell. I mean, it's you headbutt a soccer ball into it targets and stuff. That's what the demo was.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that's pretty much all it is. But then it gets complicated and different shit going on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure as the
Yeah.
the full game has more to it. Yeah, like I said, it was interesting. I thought it was. There's some humor to it, so the
Right.
funny
Yep.
announcer. But yeah, I'm not paying $20 for
No.
that.
No. I've been waiting for $5 on that one.
Yeah, but that is
Did you share the Moss demo?
no.
No. Oh.
That's all I played.
I just bought Moss.
yeah?
It was on that. It's part of that outdoor or indoor sale or whatever they called it. They finally it never's on sale. So it was only it's $30. It was on sale for only 23. But I was like, no, it's finally something off.
Yeah.
And I played the demo and I'm like, this is awesome. Like it's like
Well, it's
near Astrobot awesome.
I would
That's what
say, yeah,
got from the
that and
demo.
Astrobot were the two that were talked about
Right.
towards the end of last year.
I think there was
Wasn't
even
it?
a
I
VR
think there was a
that
bundle that had
both.
those two. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think when I was looking at the VR, I was pricing that one versus the one I got with Borderlands and Beat Saber.
That was a better value, wasn't it? Because
think
those
so.
games were a lot more expensive than
I think
those
so.
two.
Because I think Borderlands was a full price game.
50 and then
I think
Beat
Beat
Saber's
Saber's
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things like, I knew I wanted to play Beat Saber. I knew I wanted to play Astrobot, so it came down to Borderlands versus Moss. I wasn't quite sure about Moss, but I figured Borderlands. I'm like, I can sell Borderlands for like half the price and
Sure.
buy, get Moss on sale at some point. So,
Right.
so yeah, that's the story of me buying a PSVR.
Nice.
All right, Steak, what's coming out in the next few weeks?
Okay, not a lot. We've hit a slow time here. I think the quarter one stuff has ended. I think it's March 31st is the end of quarter one, right?
Yes.
So now we're kind of quarter two is usually pretty quiet.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. Was like I was sitting there, I played Division and died. I'm like, maybe I just need another game to play. I'm looking at like what's out, and I saw Sekiro, and I'm reading that, and it's like, it's the guys that made Dark Souls. I'm like, I just turned off the Division because I got my ass kicked. I'm not in the mood for getting my heart and soul crushed by another game.
Exactly. March 29th, Assassin's Creed 3 for PS4 and Xbox One. I'm assuming the Switch version is later.
You're remaking and re-releasing the wrong one there, guys.
That's for sure. Also on March 29th, Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch that me and Mike both talked about. That looks
I'll say people
cool for like the first hour.
People seem to be, really wanting that game, and I don't know a damn thing about it.
It's cool. Like I said, like when we played the demo, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, like it was cool, but I'm gonna get bored of that really fast. I can just know it.
Yeah.
On April 9th, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy for PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. I know Mike's super excited for that. Also on April 9th, Shovel Knight Showdown for PC, Mac, Linux, Wii U. Wii U. Oh my God.
Is that an expansion?
Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. It says it's a fighting game.
What?
I don't know if I've ever... How have I not know about this? What the hell is this? Is it... I know what Shovel Knight is.
Was it Shovel Knight Showdown?
Yeah. A multiplayer fighting game is scheduled for release on April 9th. I don't know how up to date that is on that, but I don't remember seeing anything about that.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh God, I lost my place. It's okay. There was only like one more thing while you're looking that up.
Duel with up to 4 players and scramble after gems as your favorite heroic or villainous knight. And Shovel Knight Showdown. All the classic Shovel Knight characters you know and love are playable, many for the first time ever. All right.
Interesting. So it's just a battle royale, like 4-player, like the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Brawl or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then finally, also on April 9th, Zenki Zero Last Beginning for PC and PS4. Do not forget your PlayStation Plus games for March. For PlayStation 4, you're downloading Call of Duty, Modern Warfare Remastered, and The Witness. And that's it. For Xbox games with gold for March, on Xbox One, until March 31st, you can still download Adventure Time, Pirates of the Ecaridian. I always fuck that up. I think it was close. I always try to look at it beforehand and think about it in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you say that. And I did not do that before this. So
you need to put like the phonetic spelling in there.
I thought about that as I was starting to read. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh shit.
That is definitely not how you pronounce it.
Nope. From March 16th through April 15th, you can download Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. And currently for Xbox 360, that's also playable on your Xbox One, you can download until March 31st, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And then for Xbox Game Pass, they added some stuff. What happened? I added that.
Uh-oh.
Where did it go? Give me a minute here. God damn it. I had it on there. I know I added it.
Uh-huh.
So last week here we go. So last week they added Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, and What Remains of Edith Finch, which I believe was Mike's one of Mike's top games a couple years ago.
I don't know,
or a year or two ago.
He always throws some goofy crap in
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's one of those there. And then I know for a fact next week Vampire is being added. So. Very cool. That's worth to check out for free. It's a very cool world and everything. The combat just got pretty janky. Don't worry. Our Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming. So our true vampire sequel is coming. And then also on that next week is they showed it off. When did they show this off? I think this was at the Mexico XO 18 event.
Oh, okay.
The Operencia, the Stolen Sun. I believe that was like a first-person dungeon crawler, I want to say it was. It had a really cool art style. It's finally coming out on March 29th, and it's a day and day with Game Pass. The two ones that I don't know if they had a date or not, so I apologize. I can't find. Like I said, I had it on there, but I can't find the article right now. But also The Walking Dead, Michonne, whatever. Michonne. Telltale miniseries, that's coming. And also Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So if you've held off on that, good job. Way to go, you. Because I almost bought the collector's edition for super cheap just for the figures. They were like $35 or something. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't support that.
It's always tempting when those collector's editions go on sale, when they're just trying to get them out of the store and off the shelves.
They're so cheap compared to what they were.
Yeah, it's like, I think when the after I had played and beaten Wolfenstein 2, like,
oh yeah,
the collector's edition went on sale without the game, which is fine because I already had the game, and it was like
$30,
$25 or something. I was like, oh, I don't want more crap in my house.
Yeah, that's kind of the route I took. So yeah, that is everything.
All right, extra. It's time for the news. Beefy news week.
Boom boom.
Oh right, the one I don't have in here. Today, there's two I don't have in here, but one I don't have in here is the quicker one. Apple announced the Apple Arcade service that they're going to be launching. It is a monthly subscription service. They did not announce the price, but it's going to run on. Oh shit! What was it? iPad, basically all the Apple platforms.
Okay.
And it's going to be Apple exclusive games. There's going to be no ads in the games. There's going to be no paid additional content for the games. But it does sound like it's all mobile games. So.
Don't care then.
Yeah, I don't really get into mobile games. My primary phone's not a Apple phone, so I probably won't be looking at it. I am interested to see what they charge monthly though, just because that'll give us an idea of what others may charge for monthly, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Apple also announced a bunch of other stuff. Go look that up if you want. They announced a TV service that I don't quite understand.
We're not Apple people.
I mean, I have an iPhone in my pocket for work, but it's more out of necessity than actual interest. I'm not a mobile device or mobile games person.
I'll download a game, play it for like an hour or two, and then never touch it again.
Yep. Other news that came out today, the Wall Street Journal reported that there's continuing rumors that Nintendo is going to launch 2 new Switch models now. One version will have enhanced features targeted at avid video gamers, although it won't be as powerful as the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, which I wouldn't expect any Nintendo product to come close to those.
No.
The other version is a cheaper option for casual gamers that Nintendo sees as a successor to its aging handheld 3DS device. The new models... Now, this is from the news article. I'm not sure how much I actually believe this. The new models are likely to be unveiled at E3 in June and possibly released a few months later. I don't necessarily believe that one because Nintendo doesn't do huge hardware announcements at E3.
No, usually that's like its own thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I can see it being leading up to E3,
right,
having something, but then E3 is just about games for them. Like it has been lately. So I can see maybe like, so let's say that's June. So maybe like in May, I can see them maybe doing a hardware like, because they're gonna make sure the direct is just about that. Then
they should, because people are gonna have a bunch of questions.
Absolutely.
And another quote from the article: the company judged the new Switch models won't need the vibration feature because there wouldn't be many games released using the full benefit of it. One official familiar with the plan said. So all the hype over HD Rumble apparently gone.
See, but they say like no vibration. Does it mean no vibration period though? Like, or are we still gonna have some? I mean, like just not the HD Rumble, but just regular feedback. That like, I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, it's also confusing to me too because we don't know exactly how they're releasing these.
Right.
If are they completely redoing Joy-Cons then too? If they're not doing vibration, can I take the old Joy-Cons and plug them in and still get vibration for 1-2 Switch?
Yeah, right.
When they release this newer high def one, are you going to have to buy the whole package again with a dock and Joy-Cons, or can I just buy the screen portion and hook my Joy-Cons on there, use my keep using my dock?
Oh, that's a good point.
There was some I don't know if it was in that article or people talking about the article that said they thought the lower end model wouldn't even have detachable Joy-Cons; they would just be fixed on the unit itself. So there's a lot of.
See, I can see that, but at the same time, there's a lot of games that require
motion controls.
Motion controls are just like you can't play Mario Party without Joy-Cons.
Right. Yeah.
And each person has their own Joy-Con.
That was the exact example someone gave in the comments on the page that I saw that on. Was like, how you can play Mario Party?
Right.
Captain Toad doesn't really work great without motion controls.
Yeah, that's kind of. So some of those games,
everything in 1-2 Switch involves motion controls.
Right, yeah, that would not be involved. You can't play that at all then. But I get it though. I get like making like a handheld version to replace the 3D because they want to phase out the 3DS.
I want the 3DS gone.
But they don't want to create a whole brand new handheld system because they've always said this is the console. This is a console. It's not a handheld. It's a console. Which okay, whatever. Like I play my Switch 98% of the times in handheld.
I'd be interested to see like a statistic on how much time people spend playing their Switch handheld versus docked.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet it's overwhelmingly handheld.
I agree 100%. I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's what I like. That's my appeal to it, is that. And then when I'm in bed, like not falling asleep, that's when I'll play it on my TV.
Yeah. And then you drop it on your face.
Yeah, right. I've done that once before. Not my phone, not the Switch, but my phone. I've definitely done that. But it's so I get having a handheld version of it, like a casual one, kind of like the 2DS. That's what that was.
Right.
Rid of the 3D for the casual and stuff like that. So that's totally fine. I'm really curious to see what this enhanced is going to be. And like, to me, it's like, well, then what's the point of getting like for that? It's like, oh, it's the enhanced one. So should that keep the HD rumble for the games that do want to do, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, obviously you don't require it, but like the games that want to use it, then they can, or games that already support it, then you still get the effect of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The other thing I'm curious about is this going to be the whole new 3DS all over again?
Oh, like all games specifically just for that? Yeah. See, I think you're too early in the cycle to do something like that.
That's the other thing. Like, I get doing it, and like the example that articles have been that talked about this, they brought up is like, 3 years into the life cycle, PlayStation released a new one. 3.5 years, Xbox released a new one. When this comes out, it'll be less than 2 years since release.
Right.
It'll be 3 years since announcement, but less than 2 years since release, which is I feel like that's kind of pushing it a bit.
Like having a remodel by now, I understand. That is what they've kind of always done. They're kind of following the same pattern that they've done with like the 3DS and the DS.
That's the other thing.
GBA. So that is fine.
I don't know what their timeline has been with that kind of stuff.
It's usually the first new version is usually about 3 years. Yeah, about right around 3 year mark. So that makes sense. But I think you have to wait at least another 2 years if you're gonna do something like the new 3DS, where it's like, okay, now these games. Like at least 2 years. Like again,
I hope so.
It's kind of. I understand it's still kind of crappy,
yeah.
But at the same time, the thing is, it's like when they did that, how many games required just the new 3DS? It was very slim. There was like 4.
There was definitely a Mario game that I wanted to play that I couldn't. Oh, all the Super Nintendo emulation you couldn't do.
Well, the Super Nintendo you couldn't do, and then Hyrule Warriors you could play in a regular 3DS, but it was awful. It ran like shit. And then, the Fire Emblem Warriors, that was only on the new 3DS. The Xenoblade Chronicles the first one was only the new 3DS, and then there was some other obscure game that had it too. But it's like that was it though. Like when they did something like that, besides then the Super Nintendo stuff.
When Breath of the Wild came out, was that only new 3DS?
Breath of the Wild?
Oh, that was Wii U. Never mind.
That was Wii U. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's a handheld. It's a console. You can't expect me to keep this shit straight.
I know. So I think it's still too early to do something that extreme. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if it's that much of an increase, I mean, I'm a sucker. I'll buy it. I like my Switch. I played a lot, so I would do it.
See, I don't, and that's why I don't think I will upgrade. I say I don't think.
Yeah.
Who knows? When
they announce that one game.
When I have a shiny new gadget in front of me, it's kind of hard for me to say no. But if they do the whole like new 3DS thing, I may just sell my Switch and be out of Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play my Switch that much that it's my Switch is a convenience for me to have.
Sure.
It's it's nice to go. Nice to have the 1 or 2 times a year I travel. It's nice to occasionally. Yeah. Be able to sit on the couch and play a game, but I can't keep dropping a couple $100 into hardware every couple of years for them.
Sure.
I'd rather put that money into, the next PlayStation or Xbox that comes out, or, upgrading something on my PC, or just more games.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get it, man. No, I hear you. So I'm curious. We'll see.
Yep. We will see. We'll also see if the Wall Street Journal is full of it.
Supposedly, they're usually the most... When they say something, when they release an article, it's very close sources.
Well, this is like a double down for them because they did an article on this back in like October or November too, saying
They
that
were the first one saying that something was in the works. Yeah.
And I think back then it was just like, I think they may have said there's only going to be one revision. And it's going to be a higher powered one, and now so there's going to be a higher powered one. There's also going to be a low end one.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if I can't imagine they're going to have three SKUs actively on shelves. They just get rid of the current.
Eventually, they'll just get rid of the current one. Yeah, it's and that's how the DS worked for a while. But then they realized that everyone still wanted the Lite and no one wanted the DSi. So they stopped producing they shorted the DSi and started pumping out more Lights again. Because I was at the GameStop when that happened, and we were sold out of Lights for months, and people were pissed.
All right, Nintendo, sticking with Nintendo, they also did the Spring Nindies Showcase. They announced a bunch of games or just put dates on games that were already known. I'll just go through the list here and the release.
I didn't bother.
I'll go through.
Thank God you had that.
I'm gonna go through the list of release dates, and if you have thoughts, spit them out.
Yep.
So they announced Cadence of Hyrule, which is from the makers of Crypt of the Necrodancer, but it's featuring Legend of Zelda theme.
That looks cool. I've always wanted to try that game. Mm-hmm. I heard it's a really good game. So now with having the Zelda stuff in there, like that's like, all right, you got me now. I'll finally buy it. So
that's going to be released in the spring. The big one they announced was Cuphead. They're getting Cuphead with Mugman it will be a playable character, and there's some other stuff they have in there. That's coming out April 18th. That will have Xbox Live integration eventually, which will allow you to track achievements. That's all the integration they've announced for that so far.
That's huge. That is huge. That tells you how much Nintendo and Microsoft are working together.
It does, because
makes me feel like that Game Pass thing is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does, because Cuphead, the IP Cuphead is owned by Microsoft. Yeah. You know, I think it's Studio MDHR is the studio that makes it.
I think so.
You know, they're an external studio, but Microsoft owns that IP. Yep. So yeah, that definitely says something there, considering that's one of the bigger Xbox One exclusives so far. I think, as far as interest in sales.
Actually, yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's insane, and there's gonna be a lot of broken Switches. I can't wait to see those videos. I have a feeling people are gonna snap their Switches in half.
Maybe I got something to do with my Switch after all.
Yeah, we make a sweet video.
They announced Stranger Things 3, the game, will be out on the 4th of July.
Same day as Season 3.
They announced, I'm not sure which of these games have been announced before. A game called Red Lantern will be out in 2019. That is basically you're a musher in like the Iditarod, so the Alaskan dog races. Mm-hmm. That game,
that looked interesting.
That looks dark.
Sad.
That
oh my god.
Dark.
I was like, when I was watching, I was like, holy shit! Like
that's for the little bit I saw that game's firmly going in my I will never play this. It's like here's the thing. Here's the thing. If there's a movie where I know a dog dies, I'm not watching it.
Yeah. Well, you already know. If you watch the trailer, you already kind of know what happens. So
there's a scene where the dog's fighting a bear, and then there's a scene where you're behind all the dogs running, and there's an empty spot.
Terrible. Just terrible. Visually, it looks very impressive. I like the art style, though. Very cool.
If it wasn't for the dead dogs, I might be interested in it. But no, it's like movies I know where a dog dies, I'll watch them.
Yeah.
Sad, I watched whenever I watch American Gangster, the cop shoots a dog at one point. Like I turn away from the screen. Yeah. I can't do that. I won't watch John Wick.
Oh, but John Wick's so good.
Yeah, but the dog dies.
Oh, but it's so good.
I won't watch what's the one with Will Smith and like the Apocalypse?
Oh, it's okay. You're not missing anything. I Am Legend.
Yeah, the dog dies. I won't watch it. I don't care.
It's fucking garbage.
Marley and Me. I won't watch it.
Nope, never have, never will.
Next game they showed was a game called Rad by Double Fine.
Yeah,
that'll be out in the summer. That's all they gave on that one.
That looked awesome. It's of course it's a damn roguelike.
But
it's roguelike. It's not rogue, so we'll see.
When you see the art style of that game, you can immediately tell it's a Double Fine game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But to me, it looked like just like a hack and slash, like a basic over the top hack and slash. It's basically but it's like then I read the description later. It said roguelike. I'm like, God! I almost flipped the table. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I saw a couple screenshots going through like getting these dates, and I'm like, yeah, it's a Double Fine. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But it's like, God, it's like making a game of MOBA that looks good. Why?
Next game was Katana Zero. That'll be out April 18th.
That looks awesome. So that reminds me kind of like The Messenger and Hotline Miami, where it's basically you can hit once you're dead. But like you're flying through with your katana and you can deflect like bullets and stuff like that back. But it's very fast paced. And it's like the side scrolling 2D. Like I said, it reminds me very much of like almost like The Messenger and stuff. And it looks like obviously it's gonna be ridiculously hard, but it looks really fun. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Next game is Nuclear Throne, which is available now, which means it was available like a week ago when they did this announcement. Next game is Super Crate Box.
I don't remember. It's
out in April.
Yeah, I don't.
Next one was they announced Vlambeer Arcade with Ultra Bugs. They didn't give a date on that one.
That looked cool. Yeah. I forget exactly what it was, but like that logo is awesome. I don't know if you saw the logo. The logo for the game looks awesome.
My Friend Pedro, which might as well be called Deadpool the game, is out in June.
That looks awesome.
I'm telling you.
That looks so good.
Get a license and slap a red suit on that guy.
Right? Oh my god, it's so good. It's good. I will probably grab that one.
That one, yeah, I'll probably end up playing that one somewhere.
Was it Devolver?
Maybe.
I think it was.
Looks like a Devolver game.
Yeah.
Creature in the Well will be out in the summer. Blaster Master 02 is available now, like a week ago. A game called Pine will be out in August. Blood Roots will be out in the summer.
That one looked cool.
Overland will be out in the fall. Darkwood will be out in May. This game actually looks interesting. Neocab.
Yeah.
There's a story where you're trying to find your friend and you're basically an Uber driver.
Yeah. It's got a cool like cyberpunk kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be out in the summer. And the last game on the list is Swim Sanity, which will be out in the summer. So Nintendo, as always, with the Nindies, just throwing titles at you.
Yeah, the best thing with those things, guys, just go watch the Indies really quick. Like they throw so much at you, and like some of them stand out and some of them don't. Like, but the thing is, like, you got to be into that type of game for it to stand out for you. Like,
right.
A lot of those indie ones. So like some of the ones that we passed up on, they could be fantastic games. Like that we just kind of like, yeah, here's this. They weren't memorable to us because it's probably not our type of game.
I mean, if you go watch the showcase video, it's what, maybe a half hour.
At the most,
yeah,
no, and they're fun to watch. Like Nintendo does a really good job, with that.
What do you want to do next? Google or PlayStation?
Let me jump into Konami really quick.
Right, yeah.
So Konami announced 3 new games from Konami. 3 new games of old games.
Yeah.
New. So the first one is Arcade Classics. It's coming April 18th. It's gonna be $20. It's going to include Haunted Castle, Thundercross, Typhoon, Twin Bee, and then I forget the names, but they're Gradius 1 and 2, but they're not called that. They're called their arcade names. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. Foos is going to kill me for not knowing those. Oh, wait, hey, hang on. This might be right here. God, I can't read that. I don't know. So that's coming out for $20. And then they announced the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. That's going to be early summer. It's going to include 8 games, so they've only announced 4 of them so far. So it's going to be the original Castlevania, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 2 from the Game Boy, Belmont's Revenge, and Super Castlevania 4. So those are the 4 that are going to be on there out of 8 right now. So I'm very curious to see what those other 4 are going to be, because the fact that they've skipped around and now we're all that, it makes me wonder if they're going to do actually give us one of the DS ones or the GBA ones, which that would be kind of awesome because the GBA ones are fantastic. And then after that, also being out early summer, they also announced the Contra Anniversary Collection, which is also going to have 8 games, but they've only announced the first 4. So the first 4 they announced is Contra, Super C, and Contra 3, the Alien Wars. So I'm assuming Contra 4 is going to be on there somehow. Even though it was a DS game, I'm sure they're going to figure out a way to get that on there. I'm curious to see what else.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be digital on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. So that's going to be very difficult to which one I get it on.
Is the pachinko business not running too hard?
Yeah, right. Well, shit, the Castlevania thing is just sitting there, wasted.
A whole bunch of stuff is just sitting there wasted.
I know. Or ruining, like Metal Gear. Yeah, ridiculous. So I guess we can go into PlayStation really quick
Yeah.
because the Google's are really the big one, I guess.
Yeah.
So PlayStation earlier today, actually, just a couple hours ago of this recording, had their first PlayStation Direct.
What was it?
State of Play.
State of Play.
State of Play. It was a complete copy of a Nintendo Direct. Only they didn't have an actual physical person. There was just a voiceover. But they had their headlines. They had their slots. They had headlines. That was their slots or their headlines simulation. So a lot of people were actually not happy about what they showed off, but they showed off a lot of good stuff.
I think it's a matter of
It's because if you don't have a VR, not much was here for you.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
if you don't have VR, you've seen everything pretty much before.
Yes. So the very first thing they kicked off with was Iron Man VR. It's coming in 2019. Look cool. Like the little bits that they did show of actual in VR look really cool. It's being done by Sony Worldwide Studios. So in Camouflage. So it's being done by pretty decent. I'm excited. Who doesn't want to be Iron Man? That'd be pretty
Guys
awesome.
have his money,
right? So I'm excited to see how that's going to be. One of the non-VR announcements, Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled. They showed off the PS1 character models. Will be like a skin you can put on on the characters.
That's
so
cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's a high def polygon character.
That's like similar to in the when they did the HD remake of Halo. You have the retro mode where you can see it's all the old first gen blocky.
Yep, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they have the Tomb Raider 2 skin on there too, like where it's like the high def polygon model.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a neat little feature.
Yeah.
I believe that's a PlayStation exclusive though.
The skins,
because that was a PS1, so kind of an incentive, like, hey, thank you, long-time Sony people.
Yeah.
After that, No Man's Sky Beyond is getting, No Man's Sky is getting an expansion called Beyond, and it's adding VR mode coming this summer. Finally, like what they should have had from day one. Everyone was begging for VR for this game forever.
I got to give them credit for sticking with it because it would have been real easy to tuck your tail and run with the reception that game got initially, and they've. They kind of.
Next was a huge improvement.
Yeah, I've heard, but both of the big expansions they've released have been huge improvements. They could, like I said, they could have tucked their tail and run and taken the money and just disappeared and never to be heard from again. But they've stuck with it and they're trying to bring what was initially promised.
Right.
They deserve credit for that.
Absolutely.
It's still the way the game's been described. Not my cup of tea, but
right.
Kudos to them.
If someone still owns No Man's Sky, I would like to borrow it.
Do you know, is that another free upgrade?
It's a free update. Yep. So I would
That's
like
the
to
other
borrow
thing, too. All their updates have been free.
Right, which that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because I did go look, and it's $60 on the PlayStation Store. I don't want that. I'm not going to play. I just want to try it. So if someone has that, please let me know. I would like to borrow it. After that, then they showed off one of the other non-VR games called Ready, Set, Heroes. It's going to be a multiplayer dungeon crawler. So hack and slash, over the top. You're gonna be able to go through it with your buddies in co-op. But the nice little crazy thing about it is that even though it's co-op, there's another team doing the same levels as the same dungeon as you, and at the end you brawl at the end of it. So and whoever makes it to the end first gets like an extra boost during the brawl scene at the end. Then
that's quite kind of
interesting.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's up to I think it's 4-player teams. So that's coming out sometime in 2019.
It has an interesting twist to it too, because whenever I play dungeon crawlers, I always have to clear every room before I go to the end. And if you're getting a boost to get to the end, it's suddenly a lot of people's motivation changes in the way they play that game.
But I have a feeling though too, like even though you get a boost at the end, you might miss out on some of the more powerful guns, and it might not end up helping you then. Like I think that's kind of where they balance it out then. So I'm curious to see how that works out.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder. Something like that normally, like they sometimes tend to do like a PlayStation Plus release. So I wonder if they'll do something like that for that. I'm curious because that would be cool.
Yeah.
Because it looked interesting.
The concept has potential.
Absolutely. After that, so they finally showed off some more of the game that's based off the heist.
Yeah.
From PlayStation VR Worlds. It's called Blood and Truth, and it's coming May 28th. So we have a date as well. It looked awesome.
I said that's one they kind of haven't mentioned that one for quite a while.
Yeah. To
the point that it was starting to cause some concern.
Yeah, exactly. I think they showed it off at the last PlayStation Experience or something, or I forget when they announced it. But then, or Paris, it might have been Paris Games Week. Like
that sounds right.
A while ago, yeah. But then it went
either that
silent.
or last year they did a bunch of announcements at Paris Games Week. So I think it was done.
So I'm just glad it finally has a date. So that's good.
Yeah,
if something like that. They're not going to give a date until they know they can release it on that day. And like I said, it looked awesome. I'm super excited. Like I said, I kind of feel I feel bad for it at the same time because like Astrobot came from a demo. You know what I mean? That was amazing. So now it's like, okay, this came from a demo that everyone was like, hey, this has such great potential.
Well,
you gotta do it, right?
Just the hype surrounding that the demo that spawned the game, it is already putting a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah.
Not to mention, them showing trailers off and it looking amazing, and you're always having people like, it doesn't look anything like the trailer.
Right. Then we got a little bit of montage of some VR stuff coming out in the next couple months. A game called Mini Mech Mayhem on June 18th. Jupiter and Mars on April 22nd. Falcon Age on April 9th. Trover Saves the Universe on May 31st. Everybody's Golf VR, May 21st. So it's coming pretty quick. I'm kind of surprised it's coming already. When they had a date on there, I was like, hell yeah. I'll be buying that.
Is that like a paid upgrade for Everybody's Golf? Or?
Yeah. Fuck. I know.
Fuck.
I know.
I already have Everybody's Golf.
I know. Me too. It would be nice to like Wipeout give us a... Yeah, that would be nice. But I don't... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a whole new game. Table of Tales on April 16th. And Vacation Simulator on June 18th.
Sign me up.
The same people that did Job Simulator. And it looked awesome.
I'll go through and platinum that one too.
Absolutely.
Punch my ceiling a few times.
Yeah, right. After that, they showed off another non-VR game from Devolver called Observation. And it's a sci-fi thriller. And the way it made it look like you were playing as this like female astronaut, no, you are the space station. So there's different security cameras.
Oh, okay.
And so you're going through and it's like I said, it looks creepy as hell. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty creepy.
That's a Mike game.
Absolutely, that's 100% Mike. I'm curious how that's gonna be. That's coming out on May 21st, so I don't have to wait too long. Five Nights at Freddy is getting a VR.
Pass.
We should totally do some gameplay of us playing that. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. Coming spring 2019. It's gonna. I believe they said it's gonna have some of the levels from the very first Five Nights at Freddy's, but then also obviously some all brand new stuff as well. After that, they showed off a game that I believe they showed off. I want to say again during Paris Games Week. Concrete Genie.
Yes, that's the tagging one, right?
Yes, that's when you're tagging. You're creating the different creatures through painting and stuff like that. And it's coming in fall 2019, and there's also going to be a VR mode for that now, which is pretty cool. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's. That game looked really cool.
That makes sense. I mean, you get the mask on, you get the move controller, and you just put your gang symbols up and
yeah. So it's coming in fall.
Mark your hood.
So look out for that. Then we get a new story gameplay and also some gameplay for Days Gone coming April 26th. Personally, still looks very boring.
That
to me.
That game, I may end up playing that just out of necessity for a new game.
Yeah, I can't. Oh God. You know what's gonna sell me? It's gonna be and I said, this was my New Year's resolution not to do this. It's gonna be the fucking reviews when it gets like 9 and 9.5. It's like that's when I'm like, fine, I'll get it. But I swear, like everything I watch for it, I'm just like, this just looks so nothing new and just boring.
Right. I have no interest in playing a new zombie game that isn't The Last of Us Part 2,
or Left 4 Dead. Which they announced the company that did Left 4 Dead's got a game coming out.
They're putting out a new game. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I forget.
And it's basically going to be Left 4 Dead style gameplay.
We'll see though with EA's publishing, or no, Warner Brothers publishing, so that actually might be decent.
Oh. But there's like I said, I've been looking for a game to play, and I can't think of a lot of big titles coming out, and Days Gone is going to be there, and I'm just going to be like,
Well, good, because I'm sure Mike's buying it too, so I can just borrow it from you guys. And then finally, they closed off the direct with some Mortal Kombat 11. We got another kind of like story trailer, and it kind of was like 90s versions of the characters meet the present. So we're kind of getting an X-Men Days of Future Past storyline is basically what's going to be happening here, which is kind of awesome, actually. The way they presented the trailer is awesome. Highly recommend go check out the trailer. But with that, it kind of it basically revealed Jax, Kung Lao, and Liu Kang. So 3 returning guys, which everyone loves to play.
They weren't announced yet?
No. There's a lot of they still have they still haven't announced Melina or Katana.
How is Shang Tsung a DLC character?
Oh yeah, Shang Tsung's that's right. It's C2E2 here in Chicago on Friday. They announced Noob Sabu as a playable, and then Shang Tsung's gonna be the first DLC.
How's Shang Tsung a DLC character?
That's kind of weird.
I mean, granted, I've been out of Mortal Kombat for like at least 8 iterations of the game.
Yeah,
but how is Shang Tsung a DLC character?
Yeah, I don't know. But he is based off the movie version, which is kind of awesome. I don't know if you saw the character model. It looks bad. I mean, not the movie. Oh shit.
I know.
I'm blanking here. Not the movie. Oh my god, I'm blanking. They got an actual character. They actually got like an actual guy to like voice him, kind of like how they did with Sonya as Rousey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say I think it's the original guy that did the voice in the movie. I think is doing the voice here.
Okay.
And the character model though, it looks awesome. It's April 23rd though.
When they announced that at C2E2, did they have like I know NetherRealm's based in Chicago, so that's why they probably did it there. Yep. But did they have like any of the character actors there? Because I know a lot of them are based in Chicago too.
I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to watch the panel. I think it's up on YouTube now.
I know. Galloping Ghost every year does like a Mortal Kombat tournament, and a bunch of the actors like show up for it.
April 23rd. I just responded to the event on Facebook. Yeah, they're having from the original Mortal Kombat 2. Actually, they're having Jax, the model that did for Jax and Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I think those are 2 other guys like they usually have show up for the tournament.
So that's cool.
Every now and then they'll have some other ones in there too.
And if you're in the Chicagoland area, on that they're actually it's going to be at Hollywood Boulevard. So they're showing the first Mortal Kombat movie, and then they're having a Q&A and photography aspects, autographs, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely thinking about that.
Yeah, I think
they always do like events, and I never go, and I want to. Now they're showing like the movie and doing all this too. I'm like, I should go.
They do that, but also every year they do like a gaming tournament, and it's like a big they make like a big event out of it, and they usually have like more than just like the 2 guys there. They'll have a number of the character actors, the guys and men and women that did the modeling. And if you're into Mortal Kombat, I would definitely look into that.
Yes, absolutely.
I have no idea if anyone from like NetherRealm shows up there, or anyone who used to work at Midway.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Ed Boon loves doing that stuff, so it wouldn't surprise. Like I don't think he always goes, but it would not shock me if he showed up though too.
Yeah. All right, so big news of the 2 weeks. Google finally announced what they're doing with gaming. They are doing a streaming service. No surprise there.
Nope.
It's called Stadia. There is no set-top box or console. It's accessible over the internet on a variety of platforms, including internet browsers, computers, TVs, and mobile devices. Has the ability to upscale to 8K, 120 frames per second in the future. Some more detailed stuff came out after the event. To do 1080p 60 frames per second requires 25 megabits per second internet. 4K requires 30 megabits, but they did not say what frame rate that was at. The only hardware associated with this launch is the Stadia controller, which will connect directly to your Wi-Fi. It's your basic game controller, 2 analogs, a gamepad, 4 face buttons, 4 normal face buttons off to the right, 4 shoulder buttons. The big things on there is there's a button to share, which connects you automatically to YouTube to either record games or I think go live streaming.
Yep.
And there's also a Google Assistant button that you can, sit there and their example they used was like you're stuck in a game and say, "Hey Google, how do I get past this boss?" or whatever, and they'll show you a tutorial video or something or find you an article.
Yep.
The service has live integration with YouTube for content creation and streaming. At GDC, they had Doom Eternal running on the Stadia service. that was there for people to get their hands on and test. And they said they'll give more information in the summer. They did not give a exact date of the event. They didn't say what event it was going to be. They also didn't announce a specific launch date, pricing, anything like that. So, it's one of those things like we all wanted that information. When's it coming out? What games are going to be on it? How much is it going to cost? Is it a subscription model or you pay per game? But it was at GDC, which is developer conference, and they got way into the weeds on the technical crap on this, which
10.7 teraflops.
Yeah. Give me all the flops. Flopping left and right. Yeah, I mean, it's the technical specs they gave, it's all lip service until you can see it in practice.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of companies promise a lot of big things, and they're talking about 8K, and I can't even get Netflix to stream 4K at a decent resolution at this point.
That is why I don't believe what they say for the streaming,
right?
Because 25 1080p, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
30 for 4K, even 30 frames. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. You're looking, because like I have 500 megabytes at my house, and like even I sometimes have issues. Like, and that's just internet in general,
right?
Like in terms of streaming, like that's one of my biggest concerns. It's just streaming in general.
Maybe if you're on Google Fiber, it works great,
right? But yeah, they're tearing that up now.
I say that it's not something we have here. So
yeah. I can't see you got. I'm thinking you have to have a minimum of 100 to get 4K, potentially 60.
Yeah.
HDR, because you're also talking HD. They're
HDR
4K, HDR 60. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you hit that,
the only way
I will shut my mouth.
Right. The only way for me to get that at this point is to get a Ultra HD Blu-ray and put it in my Xbox One X.
Yeah.
I'm guardedly. I'm hopeful.
Yes.
I hope they can pull it off.
Yes.
I'm not optimistic.
No.
I mean, I played the Project Stream beta test with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
It ran really well.
Yeah.
I do think there's a limited use case for this type of gaming. Like, I don't think you're gonna be able to go on there and play Rainbow Six Siege.
No.
Well.
Nope.
I mean, you'll be able to play the game, but that little bit of lag, that even if they've minimized lag, the little bit of lag is gonna hurt you.
It's still gonna be like 5 to 10 frames.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like there's just no way they can get it 1-to-1. There's just no way.
So I mean, in my mind, like for single player games or for like co-op story games, it may work perfectly well. Like I said, the demo I did with Project Stream worked fine. I might have had a little hiccup here or there, but it looked good. I didn't really notice any lag, but that's a single player game where if there is a little bit of input lag, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
I mean, unless, and when they were talking about it, they were saying that it's going to be cross-play, cross-platform. I don't know what that means. Are you playing against
cross-platform? It's like,
are you playing against other PC players?
Right.
What do you? Clearly, that means you're not limited to only playing against other Stadia players.
Which, in a way, though, maybe it should be. Like in terms of you're going competitive, like you're talking like Fortnite or something. Like if you're gonna play that on something like that, like I would like if I was a competitive player, I wouldn't want to play against someone that has that. Like that would bring down the whole game.
Right.
If it doesn't work properly.
Right. So yeah, I mean they're talking a big game. I want to see it. I'm also really curious about the pricing structure because if they're going to charge me $60 for a game, or I can just get the disc for $60 and pop it in my PlayStation or Xbox, I'm probably going to go with even if I have to get a digital version for PlayStation or Xbox, I'm probably going to go with the local install because there's less chance for things to get in the way and make that game, not run well.
Absolutely.
But I hope they can deliver on what they've talked about because that would be amazing.
Yep.
But I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
And the other thing that came out of this was the they did their presentation and talked about everything, and then the one of the heads of Xbox said that everything they said has just like reinforced everything we've been working towards.
Yeah.
So their streaming service is coming. I would be surprised to hear about it at E3
because when did they hint at that last year? Was it at E3 last year? Remember they started talking about Project Cloud?
I think so. I don't know. They haven't talked about Azure servers since before Xbox One was a thing.
Well, yeah,
so.
right, exactly. But yeah, they were talking about that. Yeah, they were showing it off like on the phones or whatever.
I think it was at E3.
Yeah, so I'm sure this E3 we're gonna have a huge presentation on that. That's gonna go along with the discless Xbox and everything. Before showing off next gen stuff. But
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Which the discless Xbox rumors are out there that people have seen it, and it's just a Xbox One S without the CD drive.
Makes sense.
I mean, for production, I guess it does because you already have these system boards in this size and all that stuff. But the Google thing, it just sounds too good to be true at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they did their little test on stage where the person jumped from device to device and was able to pick up the game, and I believe that it was an actual test because there was a couple hiccups in there.
Yep.
Which if that was like a scripted video, you wouldn't have seen that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't. It's
the stream of the actual conference got messed up.
Yeah.
Too. It's oh, this is great. Yeah. Let's have a conference about streaming video games, and we can't even get this a video. Like that's not even a game. Again, I don't know. Like it sounds awesome. Like I give them all. Like it sounds great, but my biggest problem too is like even with being like a subscription fee, if it ends up being like a monthly kind of thing, it's just like. The problem is like you don't own any of those games,
right?
It's kind of like Xbox Game Pass where you do take that chance. It's like you don't own any of those games; they could pull that at any time,
right?
Like Fallout 4, where they said, "Oh, it's back on." I didn't even know they took it off to begin with. It's like, oh shit! Like one day you just go to try to play it, hey, it's not working anymore. They want me to buy it, like
right?
And that's the thing with that. It's like. That's a concern is that you don't own anything then, so it's just like you could lose everything. Which I mean, whatever. I mean, it depends on like what your.
That's one of my biggest fears about this whole the all digital future that everyone's talking about is.
Well, look at the Wii. The Wii shop's gone. You can't download or get anything back on that Wii, on your original Wii, if you wanted to. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
and then my other concern was the God damn it! It was in my head. I lost it. I was thinking, okay, as you're talking about, I gotta talk about this and talk about that. Oh well.
I do think an interesting thing they're doing with it is like they're making it. It's not just the gaming service. Like it is your work. You're into the streaming platform and you're into making YouTube videos. And if you're streaming, you can like. Hand the controller off to your viewers or get them to jump in and play with you, which
well, they did show off that thing for like NBA where you can set up a room, people can click on get in line, and then when their turn is up they have like a minute or like a minute to click join now, and then they get put in against them then. So it's like that's interesting.
Have you seen YouTube comments?
Oh, I know.
Imagine that playing in your game.
Oh my god, no, I hear you.
I mean, that's like that feature is It's a cool feature to have, but if I open that up and suddenly some troll jumps in there and they're just taking the ball and they're running out of bounds every play.
Right.
And it's like, oh.
My other concern, though, too, is that they were saying that you could stream in 4K. And I'm thinking, okay, you're already playing in 4K, and then you want to stream on YouTube in 4K on top of that? No. That's not... You have to have at least a gigabyte of speed.
Right, I mean...
Like, at least... Like, that's the only way that will work.
Asking for, whatever, 20,
ton of bandwidth.
25 or 30 down is one thing. I think when we were doing the Twitch stuff, my internet speed was 20-something up.
Okay.
And I would have hiccups occasionally.
Yeah.
I know I was probably doing maybe 720, I think we were doing.
And doing 720, too, right, yeah.
I mean, so that's... The thing is, like, they advertise it, like, we can do this, but they're not putting the caveats in there of like, I mean, they won't because they're not going to give you the bad news.
Absolutely not. It's like, hey, it supports this. Like, we can't say what you need to make it work or how it will work, but you can do it.
Right. It's possible.
It's possible.
You got that internet speed? No.
Yeah.
You're not our use case.
And the other thing too is I know a lot of people are concerned. Is this going to stick around though if we pay for it?
Right.
Like kind of like a lot of other things that Google has done and has disappeared 3-4 years down the line.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it does kind of make a... And then also, too, that Microsoft's having their own thing and stuff, too. So it's like, we'll see.
With all these things, I'm much more interested if it's a subscription.
Yes.
Than if it's
than
paying $60 for a game.
Because I will never do that. I will never do it if it's buy this game. I won't do it.
If I'm going to do that, I'll wait 2 weeks and buy it on Steam for $20 less.
Yep. No. Yeah, I will never do that.
But yeah, that's it for the news. A ton of news.
Woo!
We had plenty to talk about here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all we have to talk about.
Yeah.
So
short and sweet tonight for you guys.
Yeah. Catch back up with us in 2 weeks when Mike will be here, come hell or high water.
Yeah.
I'll prop his
Mike.
I'll prop his corpse up like Weekend at Bernie's. I don't give a shit.
I'm telling you. I've been in his bed, man. Going to the new house and we're gonna set up.
I like it.
We won't wake him up. We'll be quiet while we're setting up, and then we'll wake him up. Hey, we're on.
You get the handy cam. We'll go in there and Mike, we're recording.
Hey, start poking.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, that's it for this week's Stickheads. Check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/StixGamingVids. Twitter at Stix Podcast. Find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify by searching Stix Video Games Podcast. That's pretty much it. Steak, final words?
Nope.
Awesome. See you next time.